Good morning. It is July 20th. I just checked, which I believe makes today day 114, I think, by my count anyway. It's a Friday and it's a town day. It's actually my longest day to town yet. In fact, I'm not 100% sure I'll get there, but I'll get there. From where I camped last night, it's 27.2 miles to the road hitched to Etna, which is certainly doable, but that's a pretty long day, so I can't engage the old robot running legs to get there today, or I'll be a wreck when I do and I'll pay for it. Especially considering I did 32.8 miles yesterday, which was my longest day so far. And what was I say? Yeah, the terrain today is fairly up and down. It's not a smooth sailing kind of terrain, so yeah, just have to take my time, not kill myself. There is a lake around 21 miles from where I started this morning, so I may have to push a little bit longer before lunch today, but a swim there would be nice, even though I'll be in town 6 miles later. But swimming in lakes is always good. Etna is frustratingly, or the mile marker to hitch into Etna is frustratingly at 1599.7, so I don't quite get the 1600 mile mark before I go into town. It's always nice to at least get one of those markers between every town. I'll have to wait for next time, but shortly after that, so that'll take me 1600 miles. Then when I hit 1650, that'll mark less than 1,000 miles to go, or 1,000 miles to go. So for me, that's a pretty big milestone, having only 3 digits of miles to go. Then somewhere around 1700 is the California-Oregon border. So I'll get 1600, 1650, 1,000 miles to go, 1700. Then I'll get the California-Oregon border. And then shortly after that, around 18, the mid to high 18s, I believe, is the 3,000 kilometer mark. So lots of milestones coming up in the next 2 weeks, which is something to look forward to. And I was talking to some people last night who they said by their logic and their math, if they do 150 miles a week, which is 6 25-mile days and 1 day off per week, it'll take them 3 weeks to get through Oregon, 3 weeks to get through Washington, which basically means plus the week from where we are to Ashland, looking at only 7 weeks to go. That's kind of insane, considering I don't know how many weeks I'm at now, but if today's day 114, you can do the math. California state gets the start, the halfway point, so it gets the 1,000 mile to start, the 1,000 mile point, the halfway point of the trail, the 1,000 miles to go point, all in one state. And then it's pretty much, if you added Washington and Oregon together and then doubled it, you'd be basically at how long the trail is in California. That really blows some people away. I mean, it's a lot, I guess. Doesn't faze me too much. Hiking's hiking. Doesn't really matter what state I'm in, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Other news today is not a pain-free walking day. A blister on my right heel, which is where I always get them, but it's now a mess of calluses and blisters and calluses with blisters underneath. Not quite sure. Well, it's just the increased mileage, I think, and maybe partially the new insoles I swapped in Burnie. But yeah, this morning it's a little tender because I must have stabbed that thing about 20 or 30 times last night trying to find where that yummy fluid inside the blister is, try and drain it out, and I couldn't find it. I could feel it. I could feel the pressure in there. I know it's there, but no amount of stabbing could find that gold. So now I have a thoroughly stabbed and blistered heel. It's all good. I slept in this morning too, so that's not helping my get to Etna. Okay, so I woke up. Well, I always have one wake up, so I'll go to bed around, I'll go to sleep around 8:30, or try to start going to sleep, so I put my book down and whatever. And I always seem to wake up around midnight sometime, thinking, geez, that was a long night, must be about time to get up. Last night at that point was at 10:30. Sort of woke up and I was like, oh geez, tossing and turning all night, miserable night, must be time to get up and start hiking. It was 10:30. So I did manage to go back to sleep. Woke up at 3:30 and thought, yep, another half hour and I'll get up. And then I woke up to someone else's alarm going off at 4:45. So a little late. So we started hiking at 5:45. So later than I like, but didn't need a headlamp, so it's always a positive end. I mean, sunrise is always beautiful out here. It's definitely, for me, the best time of day. Let's see if we can, maybe over there, come on. Nope, come on, there we go. That captures it better. You get the idea. I'm gonna hike. I know I've filmed sections of trail before where they trail off downhill and I say how that's what heaven looks like. Well, this is the opposite. Exposed and just climbing up around that bend. And I can tell you from the map that it keeps on going after it gets around that bend up there. Super exposed in the middle of the day. But there was a breeze blowing, so it's not too bad. Got tons of water and I just had lunch, so we'll just get it done. I might be trying to get to Etna and I might be a little bit pushed for time, but I can't go past this without swimming in it. It's just got to be done. Mercifully, I'm finally headed downhill towards the road to hitch into Etna. It's been a tough day. So it's going to be 27.2, I think it was going to be miles, which is 16, 32, I don't know, 40 something kilometers. I guess it's 43 kilometers. I mean, the views have been pretty good. Smoky, but still pretty stunning most of the day. But it's been pretty exposed and pretty hot. Thankfully, there's been a breeze as well, and it's not as hot as it was a few days ago. So I mean, it's warm, it's probably low 30s, maybe I'd guess. Or, I don't know, what's that, low 90s or something. But yeah, definitely still sweating in places you don't want to sweat, and feeling it pouring down your back and legs and face. And yeah, thankfully that lake was just about 6.5 miles back, and it was nice to have a swim in. But yeah, I'm excited to get in the town. I'm praying to I don't know, I'm not praying, just hoping for an easy hitch into town. It's apparently not a super popular highway, but the town is apparently very friendly, and anyone heading on this highway is heading to that town, and apparently the likelihood of getting a hitch from the car is much higher than usual. It's just there's less cars than usual. So with any luck, it'll be easy. And then if I'm super lucky, I'm going to jinx it now by saying this, but it'd be great if the hitch was super stoked to be giving me a ride and maybe let me stay at their place, and so I could shower and crash on the floor and charge electronics and use Wi-Fi and get a lot of the chores done that I'd like to get done. Otherwise, there's a public park that we're allowed to camp in, which apparently has Wi-Fi and lockers and showers. So I think I've got to get to a store. There's a particular store that has the keys to, I guess, the showers and the lockers and where you pay your $5 for the camping. So I'm hoping to get to that store before it closes. I haven't actually looked into what time that is yet because, oh, there's not much I can do about it. It's kind of out of my control. I just do what I can. But yeah, my feet are hurting. It's been 3 pretty big, pretty rocky days. 28.5, 32.5, give or take, and now roughly 27.5. Yeah, some biggish days for me. But it comes fairly easily these days. You just keep moving. I had a late start this morning, and then there's been so much climbing today, so much steep up and down, that I actually had sort of a morning tea break, which I don't normally have. I just tend to hike and eat while I hike until lunchtime. But yeah, it was hot and I needed it, so I actually sat down and ate a lot of my snacks this morning, and then sat down, had a lunch break further along, and then had a swim. So I've had 3 relatively short, efficient breaks today, plus starting almost an hour later than I prefer to. So, excuse me, getting in at 27.5 by around 5 o'clock. It's not too bad. It means I could probably still push a 30 by 6, which is when I like to start sort of setting up. But obviously I'm not going to, because town, and failing a miracle ride and place to stay, at the very least, if I can go to the pub and get a meal and get a cold beer, I'll be happy. Shower and everything else can wait. But yeah, my favourite thing about town is the food. So on that note, I'm going to keep going down this hill, trying to take the load off the balls of my feet. So that's the other thing. Yeah, these shoes are now 509 miles old. I got them in South Lake Tahoe, which is around mile 1090, and I am now coming up on 1600, well 1599.7 when I hit this road. So they're due to be replaced. However, my new ones I have sent to Ashland in Oregon, which is still somewhere about 120, maybe 130 miles from here. So I've got another week in these things yet. I'm hoping I don't regret that. It could just be the rocks, it could be the big days. It's probably those more than the actual shoes themselves. The shoes show hardly any signs of wear, but there's a bit of a rule of thumb with most of these trail runners that it's good to swap them out at 500, but plenty of people don't. Anyway, laters. So far, not an easy hitch. Probably been of half an hour. I've had 1 car go in the direction I want to go, and unfortunately he only had 2 seats, so and they were both taken, so he just gave me the old. So I mean, I guess he would have given me a ride if he had space. A couple of cars going the other direction. I should probably double check which direction I want to go. I'm pretty sure it's that way, but I should double check it's not that way. Yeah. On the plus side, if I spin around rather quickly here at the car park, but I do have a nice view of out there, so there's worse places to hitch from.